Greetings, this is Scholars on their scene. What's current? Hide your kids, hide your wives, because they raiding everybody out here. Sean Kingston, the latest to be raided. His house was raided. He was not at home, but his mother was there, his 61-year-old mother. Apparently, he didn't hold up his side of the deal. He was supposed to get $150,000 worth of entertainment equipment, and then in exchange for paying for it, he would do a spot with the likes of Justin Bieber. This never happened. He reneged on the deal. So they had authorities raid his home, and I think it's in Miami, and it's just... And I mean, the guy, he had a song called Take You There, where he said, we can go to the slums where killers get hung. Like, I remember White Trash Elaine on the Starbucks Watch that was like, why would you want to go to the slums where killers get hung? Like, what is the point of that? But that's an aside. But he is definitely embroiled in a lawsuit. I think it ballooned to $1 million, if I'm not mistaken. This is developing news. Yeah, so he was supposed to, be in a commercial spot with Justin Bieber. Didn't happen. So the company Ver Ver Entertainment is coming after him, and his lawyer is saying, he has, all these different amenities. He has the entertainment system. He has hundreds of $1,000s worth of watches, all kinds of different luxuries and things that go along with being in that lifestyle. I didn't know he was still within the news system. I didn't know he was still within the news system. Salute to you, Rick James. I see you. Salute to you. I didn't know he was still in the news system. He apparently is not a factor, but he's still relevant. Obviously, he's probably been doing shows and stuff on the road. I haven't heard his music in years. I haven't heard, since Take You There, I think. And of course, he had that horrible song, All These Beautiful Girls, they only want to do you dirt, they have you suicidal. Like, what? Suicidal over a broad? Are you kidding me? Like, it's not happening. Like, let's be real. Rick James is saying he's very relevant. Last I heard, he sold out Madison Square Garden. I don't doubt you. I think he still has, work that he's putting in. I'm just me. I'm stupid. I'm out of the loop. I'm old too. I'm 35 years old. Or maybe there's teeny boppers, people in their teens and tweens that oh, Sean Kingston, oh my God, ah, and and want to get tickets for his next concert. And he's probably doing a lot of shows. Like I said, he's probably doing maybe $50,000 to anywhere to $100,000 a show. He's paying for a mansion. He's paying for his mother to be there, So, Sean Kingston, he had a chance to be, even bigger than he is, I guess, right now. And I don't mean weight-wise. I mean, Mr. Troy Star Terrain said one time he needs to focus on leaner meats and vegetables, I think. Because he's a big guy. He's kind of a heavy guy. So that definitely factors into the idea of him being there. That's the whole understanding of what he is and what he is to be. So just correct. All right, we're good now. We're good. Okay, so Sean Kingston had, big hits like in the aughts, 2006, 2008, somewhere around there that I know of. That he had definite hits around that time period. I think they went either gold or platinum, and he had, enough money to suffice having a mansion. Nowadays, I don't recall him ever having, a majors like Rick James is saying he sold out the Madison Square Garden. I don't know about that. I did not hear about that. I did not see that in the report. All I know is that authorities came in and they looked up and found that he had this entertainment system, $150,000 worth. Let me see. He might be a bit more relevant than Kanye Sue, to be honest. All right. He was all over the Disney channels. I don't blame you for that. I don't fault you for. I don't see that's a fallacy. He's lost a lot of weight in recent years. Yeah, apparently a little bit more than he was. He was very big, but I still listen to him almost every week. Well, you listen to a lot, Rick James. You're up on more than I, and you're like what? You're 65 years. You're 75 years old. You're 40 years older than myself. So I have to give it to you. Respect to you for staying in the loop. I don't know. I don't listen to the radio. I don't listen to, and that's not to sound cool, not to say, yeah, I'm better than the radio. I just don't. I used to listen to it all the time when I was in the kitchen. I was in the kitchen working, busting pans and cleaning them and putting them on the rack. All day I was listening to the Breakfast Club, and that was super programming. That was the pinnacle of programming. Like if I heard a song and I was like, hey, this song's alright. Then I heard it the next day. I was, oh, this song's kind of cool. Then I heard it the next day. I said, yo, this low key fire. And then I was like, the fourth day, I'm like, okay, this is a jam. Like that's programming, kids. When you listen to a song enough and it gets in your head and you listen to it and it really grabs you, I mean that's called programming. But anyway, Sean Kingston, he is, this could be something that could be crucial for him because the weight of the penalties against him. I think he's under federal. I think it's federal charges for not being able to pay the fee that he had once agreed to. I think he's definitely under those charges. He may have his demons, but that doesn't mean you can't, not pay somebody, what you owe. You gotta have enough money. You gotta have enough stamina to withstand the game, and be, totally committed to another party. You can't be dishonest. You can't, like I said, renege on the deal. You can't pass on the deal just because you have feelings or emotions to say that, I don't have the money right now, and I'm not gonna pay for it, and I got another show to do. After I should do the show, maybe I have enough money. No, we need our money now. We need our money yesterday. Speed that, cause I need that. That's the reality of it. And I have 0 viewers right now. To be honest, 0 viewers. One technical viewer is Rick James. Rick James, of course, comes in and says, "Oh, I'm here. No, don't count me out. Oh, I'm not counting you out, Rick James." Lies, I'm here. I knew it. I knew he was gonna say that. Lies, I'm here. So why didn't you tell 5 other people to watch the show? Thank you for the Rachel, but that's not my speed. They're too advanced with hard rock and especially the Beatles. That's not my forte. I'm into literature. I'm into writing online stories and stuff like that. I appreciate it, but I do need some guidance. And we all know who else is here in the building. Rick James, do the honors. Do what you got to do. Do what you must. We know what time it is. You got a blue wrench. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you how to handle your business, but do what you got to do. We know who else is here. So, Sean Kingston, I mean, he saved me because I was going to do another story, a big story, a huge story. Everybody's talking about. But I was like, wait a minute, they got this another new story about an hour ago? Psh, let me get that. Let me see what this Sean Kingston story is about. So, I definitely took that in. So, I'm very, disappointed in Mr. Kingston. It seems like he would be, just a jovial, big bone, heavy set, son of a gun. But it appears he can't, pay his dues. He can't pay his, or show, good faith in business, which is a tragedy, which is horrific. And to me, that's like going against life. When you aren't don't, like we said, like in the new era, stand on business. He did not stand on business. Allegedly, I guess, I mean, it's still alleged, but the different attorneys are going back and forth and saying how he has so many other things, and we want those other things. Like we came here to claim all that. In my opinion, Kingston will be remembered in the future up there with Marley, Shakur, and even Hendrix. Now I know that Rick James is definitely on the dust. He's been smoking Angel's dust for I don't know how many years. I don't know how much he's had today, but he's definitely on that good stuff. Well, actually bad stuff. I mean, it's not the best drug to be on, I don't think, but he's definitely on it right now, that he said something like that in the chat. But Sean Kingston has, he has talent. I can't deny him that. He has a way of conveying a message. Not, not a super tight, not like Usher. He's not going to be doing the Super Bowl next year, I don't think. But he definitely had, or The Weeknd or something like that, I'm trying to think of somebody in his age group, but yeah. So the raid is definitely a signal to show the world that if you don't pay if you don't agree, make your agreement on the deal. If you don't have your side of the deal already in motion, then you're not fit to be in a mansion, or you're not fit to have all these jewels or these accoutrements, all this good stuff. You're not fit to have all that, because you can't either pay for or go with the plan of being in a commercial. That's all he had to do, and it was a very simple case. It didn't have any problems, any troubles, regarding his stance and being, someone that can definitely take down, a cheeseburger easily with that, But he has the singing chops. He can sing a song, but that's just not enough. You have to have business side. This is all about business. This is the business of show. This is not show business. This is the business of show. This is all about business first. Then comes the art. Then comes the show. Then comes all that afterwards. But it's about commerce, art, and time. That's all this whole entertainment and business is about. That's all it regards. He's got lyrical chops. Okay, I'll give him that. If he writes his own songs, sometimes they don't write their own songs. I think he had producers like J.R. Rodham, different people like that. So he definitely has connections in the game, but he's not. You don't hear stories like this from Jay-Z. Not yet. Like I said, they out here raiding everybody. They raided Diddy. I wasn't supposed to say his name, but no Diddy. They raided his house. They raided Sean Kingston's house. Who's next? I guess raids come in threes. Maybe a third one's coming up soon. Over the summer, maybe. I don't know. So Kingston, definitely has a presence and an ability and a talent. But that is cute. That's cool. Great. Where's the money? Where's the business skills? Where's the ideas behind all that? Next is my house, Rick James says. Well, what do you got hidden? What do you got? You know, somebody you don't want somebody to find. You know, what do you got? You have accoutrements. You have luxurious items. You know, to show off baubles and uh, chains. You know, slave chains and stuff like that. You have whole rows of Jordans that are on display in the plastic still. How niggas do. You know how niggas do. And Spicks. Fat Joe, he's got the Jordans in the plastic wrap. I've got some skeletons in my closet. What did I say? Per se. Okay. Okay. I'm sure, you know, the majority of the world does. Not everybody, but, you know, some great majority of the world has some kind of something to be hidden. I think that he can bounce back from this if he pays the fees, pays the fee. If he has enough money, he seems like he does have enough money. He seems like he does shows still. That is the promise and the key in all of this. That he may be a performer and an entertainer, but that doesn't grant him the right to say that he can be, you know, selfless. Well, he can be. That he has the right to be selfless. It's not like a law against it. Should be though, but no. But seriously, no. There is no law against being unselfish or selfless. But there is a moral code that says that it is reprehensible to be selfless and unselfish and sacrificial and altruistic. So I think with Sean Kingston, he has to have some kind of semblance of being present with, you know, within the moment, within, you know, the timing that these authorities are raiding his home. So he has to definitely take into account the fact that so many people are getting raided. You know, I'm sure there's people being raided that aren't making the news. You know, people that we never heard of. You know, raids probably happen more often than we think, but when it's like major figures, we're like, oh my god, they're being raided. It's amazing. Oh my god, it's terrible. But we can't even, you can't even think that far. You can't even think that much into it. So, you know, if he has, you know, this thing weighing over his head, you know, this thing, you know, like a a pendulum swinging back and forth, you know, ready to slice open his belly. You know, he can break free by just, you know, telling the truth, telling us, and look, I reneged on the bit on the deal. The deal fell through. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I take it. Mea culpa. Oh, I'm so disgusted with myself. I'm a terrible person. I'm gonna flog myself later on tonight, and you know, pause. No diddy. So that's where he stands right now. That's the motion. That's the place where he rests. He rests on that very notion of being somebody that is caught up in the game. He got caught up in the game. I'm sure he likes, you know, Cuban sandwiches in Miami. You know, I'm sure he likes those Cuban sandwiches, and you know, he enjoys them, and they taste great. I'm sure, you know, he's been, you know, living high off the hog for almost 2 decades now. So he definitely has a way of showing that he is a capable human being. Greg S., salute. Sean Kingston always got his name in some ish. Oh. Is that true? I haven't heard his name in a while. I mean, that's just me. I've been looking at the hip-hop magazines these past few weeks. I didn't see any major stories. It might have been underneath, you know, underneath the digital fold. But I haven't heard anything, you know, from, you know, major outlets, you know. I haven't really, you know, paid attention to that. I haven't noticed it anyway. Just give me an example. What else is he involved in, Greg S? I guess not always. Okay, but just give me another example of what he was in. I'm trying not to use my MacBook. I'm for the MacBook fundraiser, by the way. $20 for a question. $20 for me to answer one question, and the rest I'll answer for free. And then in the next hour, I'm probably gonna bleed into the next hour, and we're just gonna have a shooting gallery. Rape allegations, jet ski accident. I think I heard the jet ski accident. I didn't hear about the rape allegations. That's wild. But I just had to get away from the Cassie and Diddy. She's showing that don't blame the victim and all this. I was gonna go in. I was gonna talk about it. Blah blah. And like I understand where she's coming from. Why didn't she just shut up? She can do work. Do work for survivors and people that have been abused and stuff like that. Put in the work, but don't go to. Okay, I was frozen for a little while, but if it were up to me, I'll be like, please be quiet, shut your mouth on your digital mouth. Online, you don't have to say anything. Do your work. Do it for survivors and those who were abused. Everyone from Catholic priests, children, little boys, all the way to Baptist ministers abusing young people, all the way from teachers in school abusing young people. Do the work. Be quiet though. Don't have to say anything. Keep it hush, quiet. That's just me. That's all I want to say about that. I was going to go and deep dive and talk about the whole thing, but I saw the Sean Kingston thing and I said, hey, wait a minute. And I thought about it. Yeah, no Diddy. If they have a digital mouth, do they have a digital pussy? Well, I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to get that far. And so that's technically not an answer, Greg S. So you don't owe me $20. Yeah, no Diddy. But Sean Kingston, man, that's how old I am. I'm thinking about suicidal. Wouldn't that come out in like 06, 07, something like that? And then Take You There. We can go to the slums where killers get hung. What? Nigga, what? Go to the slums where killers get hung? Who would want to go to the slums where killers get hung? Was he self-aware in that? Was he being ironic? Was he being sarcastic? I don't know. It seemed like he was being, pretty, being pretty sincere. I feel like Sean Kingston just stopped making music for some reason. Well, according to Rick James, which is sometimes a credible source, he says that he's still making music. And if he's not making music, he's made enough music. He made enough material to go on tours and to go to different venues. According to Rick James, he sold out Madison Square Garden. I didn't see that. I didn't see that in the report. I didn't investigate that further, but apparently that's the case. I mean, he has $1 million mansion. He has a multi-million-dollar mansion, I think, and millions of dollars of accoutrements. I like saying that word. I hope I'm saying it right. Respectfully, I can't. Okay, he sold out MSG a few months ago. Okay, so respectfully, I can't rely on Rick on pop culture. Why not? Why can't you rely on Rick James? Rick James, he comes through with the data. He's like Dana with the data. Or Mo Facts. He's like the Mo Facts of the Scholar Saunders scene. Rick be on the dust sometimes. That's what I was saying when he was like, when Sean Kingston is going to go down with Bob Marley and Hendrix, and I'm like, whoa, now we're going too far, sir. That was a bridge too far. That was beyond the pale. That's all the cliches you can think of. That was a little bit too much. That pushed him over the top, Rick James. My daughter saw him there and with Kendrick's came out as a guest apparently. Okay. I'm going to take your word for it. I'm going to take your word for it with a grain of salt. Maybe a boulder of salt. I don't know, but I'll take your word for it, Rick James. But did you hit that like button? Did you hit that like button, Greg asked? Make sure you hit the like button. I don't know what I just did there, but hit that like button. Make sure we're on time, we're on topic. So if Sean Kingston can come out of this, he may be quote unquote bigger. Did you see the pun? Anyway, he may be a larger artist than he is now. I'm talking about more radio play again, more streams. I don't know what his streams are like. He probably has close to 1 billion, if not over 1 billion. That's probably why he has the money. He has, for the streams. But question is, if he can't pay for $150,000 entertainment center, what is he not being able to pay for? What can he pay for his light bill? Can he pay for the water bill? Can he pay for the It just seems very strange that he can't pay for something, but he's doing all these alleged shows. He's doing all these different features and programs and stuff like that. But it just seems like he can't pay his bills. I don't know. It's weird. It's very strange. It's kind of strange. I think if he has the ability, if he has the temerity, the gumption, to do what he needs to do, he would sit down with his lawyer and say, look, we'll just say that I'll pay for it, I'll do it, I'll do these shows, I'll make sure I get this money, and I'll pay them for it. Because for him, $150,000 is not that much money. Apparently, you're in the mansion. What was his think? What was his rationale? What was his thought process? Can he pay his automobiles? I don't think he can do so. Can he pay his automobiles? We got 3 people in here. It's a party. I don't care. We jumping. We off to the races with Sean Kingston. I'm spitting heavy fire on him because it just doesn't make any sense to me. The song is still in my head. That's the reason why I guess 2 of the songs are his biggest hits: "Suicidal" and "Take You There." Though that's the Sean Kingston I remember. That's in the late 2000s, early 2010s, and he fell off, but he could just be quiet. Getting that quiet money, getting money on the road, getting money for shows, signed, autographs and everything like that. Getting money for that. Appearances, doing bat mitzvahs and bar mitzvahs and quinceañeras and birthday parties and funerals. I don't know. He could be doing all kinds of stuff. I like how Greg S. is doing lyrics from, what is that, Destiny's Child? Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my automobiles? Can you pay... I don't think you do. So, okay. But he's got the Destiny's Child's lyrics up. Oh, man, that's classic. Greg S. doing Destiny's Child. But they have, can I just do a side real quick? They have a very varied, extremely varied output. First they have, Bills. Then they have Survivor. Then they have Cater to You, which is one of Mr. Troy Star Terrain's favorite tracks, and one of mine too, because it just, if you pay attention to the whole song, it's like they are literally just catering to their man, as a woman should. Like a woman should put water on her, put oil on the feet, and put dry the man's feet with her hair. That should happen. That should occur. That should go down. So that's just an aside. Back to Sean Kingston. The man's got issues. Let's just say that. He's got, allegedly, this is all alleged. Maybe it's drugs. Maybe it's some kind of situation where he can't get out of. Maybe he's paying some people. Maybe he's in the gangs. I'm not sure. But all I know is that he has to pay his way if he wants to live the good life. All right. Second half of the show, I just wanted to ask, very simple. This is almost like a Friday show, but this is Friday Eve, as people like to say. I don't really get into Friday Eve and stuff like that. But do you clean your house? Is that it? I like cleaning house. I don't have a problem with it. It makes me feel good that the dust and grime and dirt is getting spin away. As I look at dust and grime and dirt on my desk down here, I missed because I hadn't seen it in the light. But for the most part, my dad and I cleaned, and my stepmom, in her room, we cleaned up the house. We made sure everything was spick and span and everything was together. So, do you think you find it therapeutic? I find it therapeutic in a way because I'm able to think. I'm like, what are my next goals or what are my new ideas I'm going to be working on? What am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with this show? I'm doing the whole time. In this morning, into the afternoon, I'm thinking about what am I going to do for the show? What am I going to do for the show? What am I going to do for the show? And then I was like, I got to do Cassie and Diddy. Then they said Sean Kingston. I was like, oh, okay. And I went back to the vacuuming and and cleaning up and doing things like that. So it's very therapeutic to me. I mean, I went to the Marine Corps, and that's all you are. They don't show that in the commercials. They show it in art. Swabbing the deck and stuff like that. But if you're in the military, you are a professional janitor. You are a certified janitor. I don't care what you. I think officers. Before they become officers, before they're what was it called? Commissioned. They had to do all kinds of stuff like cleaning toilets and washing clothes and different things like that. It just comes part of the military. It's just part of the life. And something else is a side I didn't know. Officers have to pay for their uniforms. Their uniforms cost like $5,000. All the pieces that go with it. So all their uniforms cost like $5,000 or more. And, so that's very interesting to me. All right, so my girlfriend cleans the house. Okay, that's cool. Who is your girlfriend? Oh, we talking to Rick James. Did you ever say you joined the Marine Corps? Did you ever say why you joined? Oh, for money and benefits. That's it. I joined the Marine Corps for money and benefits. That's all. That's the only reason. It's like I have a hierarchy. Like, it was like September 11th was on my mind and, stuff like that. And I was like, all right, that's cool and everything. And I was like, I wanted to defend my country from that. But to be completely honest, completely, transparent, as they like to say, I just wanted the money and the benefits. And guess what I'm getting? Money and benefits. I'm getting money tomorrow, based on, not the direct, it's next week is my military deposit. Tomorrow is my Social Security deposit, but that stems from my work, partially in the Marine Corps. So I'm very fortunate for that. So it was money and benefits without a question, without a doubt. She was my granddaughter's babysitter, 24 years young. When I met her, she was 10. Holy shit, Rick James, you don't mess up my live. I don't need to hear that. When she was 10, you met her. Let's keep that real quiet. Let's not go there. We don't need that on the live. I don't want to have to sit you in timeout or worse. I meant why Marines over an Air Force, Army, or Coast Guard? Oh, because of a girlfriend. My girlfriend at the time, she was in the Marine Corps. She was headed to the Marine Corps, and she was already in, and I was going to go to her graduation, right? So I go, the recruiter, my dumbass. This is a classic story. This is a classic ignorant story. I mean, they didn't show this in the movies or on TV shows or anything like that, but the recruiters, they pounce on you, and you're like. You're totally off guard, and you're like, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, hey man, what's up? Yeah, hey, what's yeah. She's cool. She's already in she's already in boot camp. Her graduation date is and I was like, cool, all right. And then they're like, hey, but what'd you think about this? Why don't you take this test? This is the ASVAB test, and I took it, got a 64. This is just a little bit above average, not spectacular or anything, and off the charts. And then they had to play it up. My recruiter said, "You're damn Saunders, you're smart." I was like, okay, like I was just like the whole time I was like, all right, yeah, I'm smart. I got a 64. I wonder what the people that get 99s, what they're called. They must be geniuses and brilliant or something like that. Masterminds. I said 19 to turn, not 10. What? Okay. Chasing Coochie sounds about right. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, to be honest with you, I never got to snatch. Never got to snatch, never will. And that's cool. We were dating. We dated when we were both Marines. We went out to the movies. We chopped it up sometimes. We had conversations on the phone. It was pretty cool. To have her in there, and I just made it just made sense. That's the reason. That's the main reason why I was at all interested in the Marine Corps over all the other, branches. All the other branches, they still don't appeal to me. I still think the Marines are the best, and I'm saying that with all due respect, and I'm saying that with complete chip on my shoulder, and I'm saying that with absolute bias. It's one of the things I'm not objective about. No, I'm still objective about it, but I say it as a joke. There's a sense that they're the best. I mean, if you look at the flags, it gives you an impression of what the best is, what stands out. The Army's is white, the Navy's is blue, or I think the Navy's blue. I can't remember. And the Air Force is blue. Coast Guard, I think, is white. What's the only red flag? What's a red flag? The Marine Corps. The only branch that has all the colors of the United States American flag, red, white, and blue, are in the dress blues of the Marine Corps uniform. Just little things like that. Little things like that make up, the idea of how great it is. Just little, and of course, there's obvious things like the battle for Iwo Jima, where the Marines are the ones hoisting the flag up, along with Navy personnel, but mainly Marines. You have too many wars and battles and fights, and that the Marines won, and were so outlandish and so together and excellent that they were called devil dogs by the Germans because the way they fought. That's amazing to me. All right, so Dollar Bill's in here. He says, "What's your favorite condiment on your glizzy mustard, mayonnaise, or ketchup?" I'll answer that question, Dollar Bill. If you got a $20 bill for me, I gotta get a new MacBook. Okay, I gotta get a new MacBook. If you give me $20, my Cash App is $SKYLERSAUNDERS 1. My Venmo is at Skylerized SKYLERIZED, and my PayPal is paypal.me/SKYLERSAUNDERS. So I don't even know how. I looked up the history of the word glizzy, and I was like, what the hell is it? Is it a hot dog? Is it like short? Is it like slang for a Glock? Is it both? Is it like, where did the term glizzy come from? And how is it used today? I don't. Not answer your question until you give me $20. Give me $20, I'll answer your question. What do you put on your glizzy? I can ask as many questions as I want. It's my show. I don't have to pay for it. But I want to get back to, being in the Marines and cleaning. I was on toilet number 3. I was on the 3rd toilet, and I just cleaned it, and that was my job. That was one of my jobs, in the Marine Corps. I was cleaning toilet number 3. And it wasn't a problem. It wasn't like everybody had diarrhea or something crazy, some horror story. It was pretty clean by the time I got there. And then I just had to spiff it up a little bit. Greg S says, on the toilet dropping logs. Yeah, man. So that was my reality. That was my truth. That was my being for 13 weeks. And when I got to what was it? What was that? What was it? MCT. I always get it mixed up. Marine combat training. There really wasn't a lot of cleaning unless it was your rifle. You had to keep your rifle clean at all times. And every time you had a downtime, you were cleaning your rifle. Because you were like in the field. It was like you were in a war zone. So that's how that went. So I think with the idea of with the idea of being in a controlled environment, you're definitely attuned to it. And like I said, officers, it's the same thing. They had to be they say in the Marine Corps, every Marine a rifleman. Well, really, it's every Marine a janitor. That's the truth, and I would say that for every other branch that I can think of. I think all the branches have some selection of what it means to be a cleaner, somebody that cleans up, that makes things better, beautifies things. So that's the idea of my consideration of cleaning. I think it's very therapeutic to me. Running the vacuum, the drone in the vacuum is like very hypnotizing. I don't even use a vacuum though. I can't use the V word anymore. I use a rainbow. Pause. No diddy. But I use a rainbow cleaning machine that permits me to trap the dust in a water basin and then flush it down the toilet afterwards. It's one of the most sophisticated systems I've ever experienced. One of the best products I've ever encountered. What is LGBTQ plus QA? I think it's QA plus friendly. What is friend? What is that, Greg asked? What is that? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Greg asked. Explain yourself. You're right. It's not a vacuum. It's not a vacuum. It's a rainbow house cleaning system. It's not a vacuum. Vacuums use a different way of sucking up dirt. Pause. No diddy. But they have a different way of and taking in the different debris from the floors. But this system is completely, equipped with being for deep cleaning and a steady hand on it if you want to be within the bounds of cleaning. You'd make a good door-to-door vacuum. I probably would. I would do that, but I don't want to do that. I'm a good cashier. I'm not a good money counter. My drawer came up. Like I said before, I said this in a post before. My drawer came up, short on numerous occasions. I never took a penny from that Starbucks, but I must have not counted the money correctly. And it came at the day. I was like, man, they had to sit me down. At that time, the late great Kobe Bryant was still alive, and he was he was putting in work. He won the championship the year that I started on the cashier at Starbucks. So it was like, oh, they're benching Kobe, you know, because I got awards for that. I got, you know, a small laptop for that. I got a sound system. They gave me a party, ice cream and cake, all that fly fancy shit. It was cool. I was the employee of the quarter. You're a drawer count shorts cause you be thieving just like the hoppers and the low rises. What are you talking about? I have no clue what you're talking about. The hoppers and the low rises. Who are the hoppers and the low rises? I don't even know what you're talking about right now. No clue what you're saying. But yeah, so cleaning to me is very it's a spiritual thing, because it's like you get in tune with your own thoughts. You know, once you're dusting things, you're polishing things, and things of that nature. That's, you know, that gets me going. It gives me a chance to be one with myself, to think. Greg S., I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And make sure you tell 6 people, not 7 people around me. Spiritual, because your daddy send you to the upper room if you disobey and not clean properly. Well, that's not the case. That's not the case in my position, in my setting. My dad and I have a really cool relationship. He cleans the floors, you know, the kitchen floor and the hallway. I do the carpet mainly, my own room and downstairs. You know, the around the entertainment center. Not $150,000 like Sean Kingston, by the way. But yeah, so. I was amazed though, you know, if I'm thinking about, you know, people that were in the Marine Corps, you know, it was amazing because we did field day. Field day was like the ultimate day of cleaning. Like you'd clean every day. You would scuzz. They call them scuzz brushes. And they say, harder, faster, aye, sir. Scuzz. Harder, faster, aye, sir. And then you pause. No diddy. That sounds crazy, but that's what you say. And you just use it's like just like a little brush. It's about this long, and it just has a brush on one side and a smooth side on the other, and you just brush all the dust bunnies into a row, and you just and then somebody sweeps them up and puts them in the trash. So just to take into effect that, you know, that some of the guys didn't know how to properly clean things. They didn't know what to do. They had no idea. Their mom did it, or their older sister or their older brother or somebody else did it, and they were totally clueless. They didn't know what to do when it came to cleaning around the house. And I got 5 people in here with 5 likes. I'm not mad at that. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your viewership. Thank you for your likes. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I take it upon myself to be as clean and as orderly as possible. Sometimes I make my bed, sometimes I don't. It just depends. Depends on what the day is like, if I'm not going to be coming back soon from a vacation or something like that. It just depends. In fact, I'm cleaning right now. I'm cleaning my desk. If you know what it's like to clean your own desk, you're like, you know where the dirt is. That's I think what Paul Mooney says. Uh, broom, a new broom can get, you know, I'm gonna paraphrase, I'm gonna chop it up, but he said, you know, a new broom can get the dirt, but an old broom will know where the dirt is, where to find it. I chopped that all up, but that's essentially what he was saying. He was saying, like, as a human being, somebody that is wise and has game and knows how to, you know, find out what's going on in the world, you know, just by, you know, observation and understanding and common sense. They know how, you know they know where the real mess is, so they can come to it and clean it all up. So yeah. Is that a baby wipe? RP Paul Mooney. No, it's not a baby wipe. It's it's actually, I'll show you. It's actually a men's face and body wipe, but I use it to clean as well. It's very efficient cleaning. Very efficient. Very efficient. Wet one? No, not wet ones. These are men's face and body wipes, but they're good for cleaning too. That's what you have to understand about the Marine Corps too. What's beautiful about it, that you improvise, you adapt to your environment to yourself. That's one of the best parts about the Marine Corps. It's called adapt, improvise, and overcome. Like I don't know about Stacy Galore selling wipes. I didn't know anything about that, but she's welcome here. She's welcome. This is a welcome format. But you know, yes, if you adapt, improvise, and overcome, you improvise. Like they use tampons. They use tampons in the field to stop the bleeding. If you didn't know that, now you know. They use a whole litany of different things. They use you know, they jerry rig certain things and make sure things are in place based on, you know, what you use, and different, you know, ways of washing your rifle. I mean, I remember you know, some guys were dunking their rifles in water, you know, in these drums, these big drums of water, and they're just drop the weapon into the water and clean it that way. Not mad. 8 likes, 6 views. Not mad. I'm very, very happy about this. Yeah, so back to, you know, the reason why I got into the Marine Corps and not the other branches. Beautiful, sexy Latina queen. You know, she walked in Wilmington, Delaware, which is very dangerous. Look it up. In 2014, they called it the Murder Town, USA. She lived on, I'm not going to say the street she lived on, but she lived on one of the streets on the west side. And he said where? Wilmington, Delaware. Kilmington, Delaware, if you want to call it that. But you can look up Wilmington, Delaware. WILMINGTON, and Delaware. DELAWARE. Then he says, "Oh, yeah. Well, look it up. Look up Murder Town, USA, or I think that's how it was in Newsweek, like in 2014. It was like a decade ago. It was Murder Town, USA. Just look it up on your interwebs. Do your interwebs searches, and you'll find out about it. It's real. I mean, People get smoked. I get alerts on my phone every other day or every day. 5 shot, 2 killed in Wilmington. 2 shot in Wilmington. One killed in Wilmington. It's a sad place. It's completely devoid of any parameters, any rules, any guidelines, a council. But if you go to downtown, I think it's downtown. Downtown Wilmington is where all the businesses are, where the banks are. We've got all kinds of banks in Delaware. Banks like Bank of America, Delaware Trust, WSFS or WSFS. I think we have Wells Fargo too. We have Barclays. All these banks. We're the credit card capital of the world. We're the chemical capital of the world. So that's just a reality that we have as a state and as a city of Wilmington. And of course, as DuPont, but that's in Dow, which I heard just saw in a news clip that's going to bring into 3 different companies. So it's real goofy. But yeah. So anyway, going back to her, I went on a tangent a little bit there, but going back to this young lady, she kept a butterfly knife in her back pocket. She showed me it. She was like, because she took the bus. She didn't have a car. She had a bus on her. And this is the beauty of the military, the Marine Corps, everything, and all the branches is self-improvement. When you can improve, that is so beautiful. When you can step up your game. And did I have 8 or 6? Now it's down to 7 likes. Somebody didn't like it? All right, you don't like it then. All right, there's 6 people in here. J Rail, is that J Red? 679. Big Smoke Jr. I don't know what you're talking about, sir. Please explain yourself. You seem new here. If you want to ask a question, it's $20 for the first question, and everything else after that is free. But you have to give me $20 for a question. My Cash App is $SKYLERSAUNDERS 1. So I think that most people come out of the military, better off than they were before. I certainly was. Educationally, financially, and a lot of different cases, you become better off. Yeah, Rick, Greg said he would agree. Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. I would agree with my agreeing. Yeah, that's what I said. Most. I said most of the time. Some people are tragically killed, obviously, and that's just a reality that has to be addressed. Some people are maimed and paralyzed for the rest of their life. Now they'll be getting money if they have a consciousness, if they're still conscious, and they still have the brain power of an adult. Some people lose brain functioning, and they don't have the same mental capacity as an adult. They have a capacity of a child almost. That's really sad, but that's what happens. Interesting. Very interesting. Rick James says, my friend's mother was raped in Marines and became an alcoholic. Very true. I knew a guy who was raped in the Marines. I was like, God damn, are you gay? And he was just like, no. I'm just like, damn. Cause that's the thing that came to my mind. I'm stupid. It's like, damn, did they turn him out? Did they make him into a homosexual? And I was just like wondering that. I was just like thinking about it. And it, it still haunts me to that day because I met him in the psych ward. He was in for something. He had 100%. I have 70%. I was like, man, how can I get this 100%? And I just went to my lawyer, fighting Irishman from Boston, Michael James Kelly, kick you straight up in the belly, Michael Kelly. And he had the right answers. He sent an associate out to say what I was gonna get. He was like, oh, do you want to get Social Security too? I said, yes. So he had to go back out into his car, to his trunk, get the paperwork for the Social Security, and have that all set up. And I've been going ever since. I'm serious. When am I gonna be like, oh yeah, I get money from the government? No, I get money because I earned it and I deserve it. Anybody else that deserves it, you should get your money too. I'll help you. I'll find you a way to make you can do it. I mean, I could have done it on my own. I got $23,000 from the Marine Corps after my settlement. It was $23,000, and I bought a truck. And my dumb ass shouldn't have bought a truck. I should have invested in something and made millions or billions of dollars. But my dumb ass still wouldn't be able to do that. So I put it in the truck and bought this MacBook. That's before me. I just, you know, I zoned out. You know, I zoned out on it. So that was the case for that. But yeah, so serious things can happen. People get raped. People get, sexually assaulted. Some people get abused. People get, really messed, in fights and get sliced up and caught up in drama. It's real. So it's nothing, that you have to sincerely, something that you have to sincerely take into account before you sign up for it, because it is, I think they're cleaning it up more so now because they have awareness. They have, different talks and different, they address the topics of sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, things of that nature for men and women. Like I said, I met a man who was raped. So, and he went into explicit detail. I'm not going to go into it now, but he told me about a bathtub, and that's all I'm going to say. It was very graphic. Very graphic. But for me, selfishly, self-interest, all that, I had a great time. It was like going at 200 miles per hour in a Lamborghini. I just happened to crash into a wall and get bipolar disorder. But, it felt like I was going that speed, until they slowed my dumb ass down. And then I went to California. I was in Arizona, and then I went to California. California was cool. I was like in a hotel room that was free, cable. I think it was like the early stages of Wi-Fi, being implemented in government buildings. They just started Wi-Fi in the VA I go to. I'm about to go to tomorrow. So that was pretty cool. I was balling too. I didn't stop balling. I bought all kinds of clothes. I bought books. I bought, I had a laptop that I had from previously. Had all that together. So it worked out for me. It worked out for me. I'm still a proud Marine. Still, somebody that will always stand up for the national anthem, remove my hat, just out of respect for those that fought and died, those that, didn't make it back and from prison camps, all those, and everyone that served, everyone that is still living a great life, living life in America, living life abroad, and even if you served in America, if you're still living your life, after your military service, I salute you. Respect. But, did I go on a tangent or did I go on a tangent? Well, I was talking about cleaning. Cleaning is a good thing. Cleaning everything. Cleaning your glasses is good. Cleaning your contacts is good. Cleaning your teeth is good. I got to go to the dentist tomorrow. I think I have another cavity that they have to work on. So that's something I have to contend with. Have to realize. It's something that is important to me. Clearing your mind, yes. Clearing your mind, resetting. That's very beneficial to your own consciousness, to your own mental well-being. It's very instrumental in being a person that knows what he or she is doing in order to be someone that is in tune with themselves. You have to be in tune with and that's what Cat Williams said before in a comedy routine. He said, you know, you have to be number one. You have to be in tune with your number one player, yourself. You have to be in tune with your number one player. He said it over and over again. You got to be in tune with your number one player, your yourself, your own being, your own selfish sense of being. So clearing your mind is very important. That's what happens when you're cleaning. You're cleaning your mind. You're getting ready for the day. You're getting ready for the week. You're ready for the month. You're trying to get your finances together. You're trying to get your wealth together. All that comes into fruition when you are cleaning, and that could be anything. That's polishing a battleship or something like that, or detailing something and cleaning it off and making sure it isn't. And if you have proper handling of a firearm, if you're of the right age, where I think it's like 4.5, if you have enough consciousness to properly handle a firearm, then you should be able to clean that firearm. Then you should be able to use it. And I think it's treat, never keep. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. Treat your weapon. I'm gonna chop it up, but it's treat, never keep. Or treat, never keep. I think something like that. Never point your weapon at anything that you don't intend to shoot. Keep your finger off the trigger, and keep keep the weapon on safety until you intend to shoot. So it's treat, never keep. Rick James says, the mind is a horrible thing to waste. Yes, that is. It's a great NAACP statement. Sir, I'm going to promote you on another show called The Raging Tomato. They will really appreciate you there. Okay? That's why you got a wrench. That's what you're the first person that I've noticeably have put me onto a different platform where people welcome me, honestly. But I just can't mesh with them too much because it's hard rock. I listen to hard rock, but I don't know. I'm not deep. I'm like at the very edge of the water, getting my feet wet, and I can't say I'm swimming. I can't say. I'm not saying I'm a swimmer in that regard. Skeet, never skeet. What? It's treat, never keep. So that's a very instrumental thing. Look up treat, never keep. I can't say it all the way. I'll forget the different terminology. But just look up treat, never keep. And that should give you enough. Gregas says, never trick if you ain't got it. Well, never trick, period, if you're a person who regards themselves as not a trick. You can be a trick. Tricks are good. Tricks are great. Tricks are for kids. No, tricks are for pimps and people that are. I'm not a pimp. I'm a man and I'm a Marine. That's what I learned from Simple the Pimp and Mr. Choice Star Terrain. Not everybody's a pimp, but you can be a man, and you can. And I just happen to earn the title of Marine, so I definitely take that into account. But tricks are needed. Tricks and Johns needed. Simps are needed. Maybe not too needed, but tricks and Johns definitely needed. But they're going out of style now. We have OnlyFans. You don't even need a trick or a John. I'm still confused on who Simple the P is. Well, he's a late great Simple the Pimp. He was a pimp, from Chicago that moved to Toronto, or someplace in Canada. It may not have been Toronto, but he had a YouTube channel. You should check it out. When you get off of my channel, go to Simple the P, and you'll find all his different lives. He has tremendous game. His game is untouchable. His game is just like, it is immaculate. He gives you so much game. I don't agree with all the things that he says, like licking booty, like eating the groceries. I eat the groceries. He's not really into that, or he wasn't into that. I eat the groceries, and I'm alright with that. I never had a problem. You know, I can even take a fart. I would suck a fart out of her ass. But you know, that's what I'm saying. But he was against that. He wasn't really into that. That wasn't his thing. But it is for me. I have only good memories of that. Was he skinny? He was about he was fair. He wasn't, you know, very large, and he wasn't very skinny. He was just, you know, average build and older. He got clapped. I don't think he got clapped. I think he had a disease. I think he had some kind of disorder or some kind of malady that stopped him from pimping, essentially. He spent time in the clink. He was in the penitentiary for a little while. He was in solitary confinement. He was singing to the prison guards, the females. They wanted him to sing to him. But yeah, so excuse me. He had the bug. I don't think he had the bug. I don't know. It's all conjecture. I didn't see any, you know, when I looked out for the obituaries or anything like that, or anybody's postings, he didn't say that he had it. He didn't have anything. He didn't have the monster. Not that I know of. I don't know what he had, but he definitely passed away, I think, almost 2 years ago. His real name was Brandon Gilmore. But he was a great guy, from, you know, in the virtual sense. I never met him, but you know, from meeting him, you know, just seeing his videos, which are hilarious and thought provoking, and you know, true, and you know, he had the swag about him. You know, as all pimps do. Black men of color, you know, men of color in America and in North America. You know, he had a swag about him. So, and a drip about him. So. Definitely respect to Sinful the Pimp. But cleaning the cache in your computer, not for, you know, somebody's gonna, you know, raid your house, but just cleaning the cache because it runs faster when you do that. Cleaning the cache on your phone. You know, I just did that yesterday, and it's like, it's right on. It doesn't take any time at all, because I cleaned out, you know, different programs that were running. You know, you have to clean out all the things in your life that don't need to be. Clean out, you know, family members. Clean out people that, you know, are very, you know, detrimental to your living space. Gregor says, Skylar cleans that search web history. Pay attention. I do though. But usually I use incognito. I clean my history on my computer every day. Okay, Rick James. That's what's up. Keep doing that. Just cleaning as a metaphor. Cleaning your thoughts. Cleaning your ideas. Have them in line. Have them, you know, proper. I would say objectivist ideals. That's how you have a clean mind. And I hate that term brainwashed. It should be reversed. It should be brain sullied, or brain spoiled, or brain dirtied. When you have a dirty mind, then you can be at fault for anything. But if you have a clean mind, you'll know what you're thinking about. So that's what, if you say, oh, he was just brainwashed. Well, yeah, let me say he's brainwashed. He was thinking on some other plane that didn't exist, and he or she, you know, thought about it and corrected his or her errors, and now they're living a beautiful life. So that's brain cleaning. That's That's literally brainwashing. I hate how that term had to be, you know, misused. It's very sad, but it's what it is. But like I said, clear your thoughts. Clean out all the rubbish and dirty thinking that comes with, being a human being. You have thoughts that you can't consider, to be wise, decision making. So you have to, condition yourself. You have to control your thoughts. You have to get in line and clean out all the junk, and make sure that you know what you're saying and how that you're saying it. That is the key. That is the monumental factor in all of this. That is a monumental factor because it gives you the clarity and the crystalline understanding of what it truly means to be a human being. That's important. That's what needs to be discovered. That's what needs to be said. And all the things that I've said all day, I hope you take that to heart. Well, not to heart. Take that to brain. Take that to mind. Because the heart ain't nothing but a glorious pump. A glorified pump. A glorious pump. Everybody thinks, oh, it's in my heart. It's in my heart. Charge it to my heart, not my head. Everything is your head. Your heart is a reflection of, is a respondent of your brain. Your heart thumps when you're in danger, or when you see somebody romantic that you love or something like that. That's a response of your brain, of your senses. It's all sensory. You see them, you hear them, you smell their perfume, you taste their lips, and your heart pumps faster. That's the best case scenario. You see a wolf in the woods, your heart pumps faster because your brain sees it, hears it, smells it, and can taste their breath in the air. And you just know how to react. You know how to function, to either fight or flight. But your heart is the respondent. That is the key thing. That it is the response of your brain. I clean my history on my fear or it's fight or flight, not fear or flight. Rick James. Now he says message retracted. Fight or flight. Okay, and he went to correct himself. Oh man. I miss. You have to send me a link. Send me an email. You know my style. You know what it is, Rick James. Send me an email. What is it? The flying tomato. What is it called? What is that thing you're gonna set me up with? Something tomato. What is it? So if you ever wonder, what needs to be cleaned the most, it's the overall society. We need to be cleaned. The raging tomato. Okay, let me get that down. Okay. All right, so I'll lock that in. But society, it's so great technologically, and I've said this before. We have a 21st century technological advantage, but a first century morality advantage, or disadvantage, really. We're so disadvantaged with our reality, with our sense of being. We don't have the proper tools to keep ourselves in line and know who we are and what we're supposed to be about. That's facts. That's the truth. That's what we need to really look at and really discover. Who we are, what we are about, what we do, and why we do it. Because this culture is insane. We live in an insane culture. Judaism, Islam, and Christianity are insane. That's basically it. The people, they know better. There's really no, you can be absolutely selfish, but you can't be absolutely altruistic. So, with that being said, you have to, oh, shiznits. Skylar, do you believe in God? Keith, I will answer that question. If you got $20, you know, you don't have $20 for me. I'll just answer it. I don't believe in God. There is no God. There has never been a God. There will never be a God. That's the facts. Okay. He says Harambe. Keith, Rick James. About Keith. Yeah, but there is no God. I don't believe in God, and there is no God. That's something that needs to be addressed as well. Not only do I not believe in God, there is no God to believe in at all. So that's the facts on that. Because what is there? There's no there, and there has never been. The closest we ever came to saying that there was a God was Thomas Aquinas, and he couldn't figure it out. He used Aristotle's line, his line of thinking, but he could not, justify the case for a God, even with all his might, every bit of his being, his mind power. He did not find that to be, the truth. So, we live in an insane culture. And it's not just, religionists, even though that's a huge chunk. And I hate to say religionists, I say the faithful. I'll say the faithful. They're a huge chunk. But there's also anarchists. There's also, atheists that, are part of, no, they call themselves atheists, but they're not really atheists. They worship material things like communists, Nazis, fascists, different things like that. They worship material. They worship the soil and blood and atoms and matter. That's what they worship. Even though they don't believe in a God per se, they make a God out of material things. So that's something that needs to be cleaned. We need to clean all of that out of existence. And we're very close to doing it. We came close with World War II. I mean, the Enlightenment phrase brought reason. And that was a major achievement where reason was, at least at the forefront, even if not in the front seat. It was at the forefront of major change in the world. That was during the Enlightenment. That was like in 18th century to the early 20th century. Then you had the fall of, you had individualism, and that came at the cost of millions of lives in World War II, where collectivism wasn't the huge thing of the day, even though over 100 million people were dying because of communism. It was like individualism was here. We won, but we had all these issues over on the other side that were true as well. Then we had altruism. Altruism has always been in the human body. It's like a blood disease. It's like lymphoma. It's like leukemia. It's very distressing, and just as destructive. But it seems to stick with us in all the different faiths, and all the different ways, the secular kind of expressions. It's rooted in all of that. It's rooted in all of that. So we have to be very vigilant in our space with this time, because it is very lucrative, spiritually, not just financially, not just materially, but so in the mind and the soul, to be poverty pimps, be people that are very focused on material gain and not worried about the soul and thinking about that. And I don't mean that mystically. I mean that very serious. I mean that in a sense of the self-made man and the self-made soul. That's how Ayn Rand put it. Such as a man as a self-made wealth, so is he as a self-made soul. So she definitely described that, rather well. Spiritual battle. Yes, it is. Very much. A spiritual battle, yes. We need to clean all of that out. We need to clean out mysticism, collectivism, and altruism. That needs to be cleaned out all the way. Completely. Without any regard. It needs to be completely cleaned out from our positions, from our hierarchy of values, from our leadership, everybody that's in attendance. We have to definitely clean them out, without a doubt. That's the key thing that we have to figure out and make on a clear cut distinction between what we want to do as human beings in this life, because you only get one. It's it. There's an ultimate oneness. There's a lot of ones that are important. You get one brain. You get one life. You get one chance at this. It's only one shot. You capture it, or you're gonna let it slip. Spaghetti, 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 spaghetti. No, but seriously, it's really sad. And you consider the billions of people, billions, that have died, not knowing the reality and the truth. Not knowing of reason, purpose, self-esteem. Not knowing of reason, individualism, and capitalism. Not knowing that. But I'm telling it to you all. You all are my audience. I'm supposed to be doing this. I'm spreading the word. Ayn Rand once said, I write, you spread. Well, I'm spreading. Because it's worth it. It really is worth it being what I would imagine myself to be a rational human being that knows the difference between the ugliness of this world and how beautiful this world can be. We're right on it. It's like a match, It's like a tennis match, or some kind of round of golf. It's like any other sport. Like you're going tit for tat. You're going back and forth. You're in basketball. You're going back and forth. It's especially important for us to recognize that. Very important. Shows us that we're capable of being proper custodians over our own lives. That we're able to look at each other and say, hey, you're worth it, man. You're really worth it. You're standing on business. You're a good guy. And you have to say that in the mirror too. Say that whole line in the mirror. You're a good guy. You're a good girl. You're a good woman. You're a good man. Keith says, by the way, Scholar, whoa, he's getting like Rick James. When are the feds going to run down on Lamar Johnson, Jay Morrison, Jesse Lee Peterson, and Akon? Oh, I don't know. I don't want to put that on anybody. I don't want anybody to run up in their houses if it doesn't warrant it. If they don't have a warrant, if it's possible, I would say for them to avoid that as best as they can. It's not a pleasant, experience, I would imagine. I mean, it's probably pretty taxing and annoying and very, anti-mind, but maybe necessary. Maybe for the mind. It could be necessary, like with Diddy. Diddy's houses were raided, and that really, brought out the truth in his entire framework. So I don't even know who Jay Morrison is. I know who Umar Johnson is. I know who Jesse Lee Peterson is. But I don't know who Jay Morrison is. Could you explain some more about Jay Morrison, sir? Could you just give me a quick rundown before I, go our separate ways here? Got a few more minutes in this. Scar, okay, so okay, he said the same thing. He's corrected his spelling. But yeah, just tell me who Jay Morrison is, and Akon. I know who Akon is, but why'd you leave him out the second time? Oh my God. It takes a lot out of you when you are cleaning. And I mean, I've gone through every, scenario, basically, physically, materially, psychologically, spiritually. It does take everything to do something. I mean, if you want to do it right, you're going to have to, wipe down everything completely. You're going to have to pick up all the litter. You're going to have to pick up all the trash. You're going to have to clean out all the utensils. You're going to have to put them back in the right format, the right way. That's what's essential. That's what will keep this machine going. If I clean out, I had to clean out short videos and videos I posted years ago. I had to clean that out and just focus on the lives and some of the shorts. Somebody please explain to me how to do a short again. I used to do a short every day. Now it's special. It doesn't work in the same way. It comes out as without audio, and I don't know why. I don't know how to use the audio function automatically. I don't know what you have to do. So I know they're very, helpful, viewership wise. They give me hundreds of views, but I don't know how to do it without having a video with sound. I don't know how to do that. But yeah, so if anybody has any wonder what it's like to be, a cleaner, just ask me. Jay Morrison is black. Well, that narrows it down a lot, Keith. Jay Morrison is a black American. There's a few black Americans. Foundational black Americans and African Americans. As the late great Tupac Shakur once said, African Americans. I got 2 people in here with 9 likes. I'm not mad at the likes. I need at least, okay, went down to 1. I need at least 100,000 more viewers in here. But what's Japan time? I'm not gonna use my MacBook, excuse me. What is Japan time? What is it like? 5 o'clock in the morning, something like that? 6 o'clock? Yep, 6:33. That's what I thought. 5 or 6 in the morning. Yeah. I appreciate you, Keith. I honestly do. I appreciate you, sir. Almost 7. Yeah. Yeah. That's some big talk. That's some big talk. Definitely will address you as a gentleman because you've taken the time to look for my dumb ass and find out, from me. Whoever just came in here, make sure you hit that like button. I want to get 10 likes at least. Let me get 10 likes. Hit that like button. Smash it. Smash that like button. Pause. No diddy. Now it's up to 3. So I definitely need somebody to hit that like button. Hit that like button, make it go up to 10 likes. Can you see the likes? I can see the likes. I need 1 more for 10 likes. I need 7 more for 10 people in here. Tell your friends about me. But can you hear the creaking? Creaky chair. I have to use some oil or something like that. But that is, the lesson that we've been told, over and over in our lives. Clean your room, clean up after yourself. Make sure you leave something better than you found it. Tidy up. And that, becomes a mantra, and that has something to do with, I'm naming it right now. That's what it's like when you have the thought of being totally engrossed with the fact that you are a human being, someone that's able to do so, able to clean, able to function. Gregas, salute. What are you getting out of here? You getting out of here, Gregas? Salute. Gregas. Oh, he's talking to Keith. He's saying Umar ain't doing nothing wrong. He may have something, against you on that, Gregas. Watch out. He may be able to fight you on that. But yeah, so, I mean, like I said from the first half of the show, I guess the quarter of the show, Sean Kingston has to clean out the cobwebs in his head. Like, I don't think he's realized, the business side of show business, which is the business of show, actually, like I've said. He doesn't understand the mechanics, I don't think. I don't think he really fully understands it. But I do remember that jet ski accident, something like that. He almost had like a heart attack or a seizure or something like that. Something that happened like that. So that's interesting. But cleaning out, even Eminem said, cleaning out my closet. He said, he's sorry to his mother, but he never meant to hurt her. So tonight he's cleaning out his closet. He never meant to make her cry. We should all clean out our closets, either spiritually, materially, physically, or spiritually. It's something that's it's very refreshing, and you usually come across stuff like, damn, I remember this. This is crazy. I remember using this, and it just helps out a great deal. It gives you a better understanding of your purpose in this life, the purpose-driven life. They used the wrong faith. They should have used it for objectivism. It's a beautiful title for an objectivist. The purpose-driven life. Instead of using it for Jesus and Christianity. I'm watching a podcast. It's 2 pastors. They're married, and they're discussing the horrific, brutal death of Jesus of Nazareth. And they're just describing it and like saying, how his lungs were filling up with blood and fluid and everything like that, and how he had to raise up on the nails to speak. It's like, just, that is what really claims a lot of people. They say, oh, well, God damn, he did all of that for me. Oh my God, I gotta believe in Jesus after that. Oh my gosh, But no one knows the facts of that day. We don't know the exact hard copy reality. Could just be a story. The fact that he could have been just put on a post and not, hung high and stretched wide. He hung his head, and for me, he died. And then they say that's not how the story ends. 3 days later, he rose again. Very sad. For God so loved the world, yeah. Blaspheme. Yes, I blaspheme the Holy Spirit. I have blasphemed the Holy Spirit. That's one thing that you cannot be saved from. You cannot repent from that. Because what is the Holy Spirit? What the hell is the Holy Spirit? What the hell? I mean, the Holy Spirit impregnated Mary, allegedly, and that's how you got Jesus. So this Holy Spirit is this force, this embodiment that goes around knocking up broads and giving them saying that they're saviors of the world, that their offspring are going to be. You'll be forced to do the shame walk with Queen Circel? I have no idea what the hell you're talking about right now. What the hell are you talking about? Circel? I don't know what you mean. You gotta break that down to me, Barney style. Oh, okay. Jesus also walked on water from Game of Thrones. I never watched Game of Thrones. I never got into that like that. You can miss me with Game of Thrones. Never got into it. I didn't like all the dragons and the kings and all the incest and all that. I was like, you can save that. I'm good. So, cleaning. I said cleaning your weapon. That's like a ritual. Every time you stop, you got to clean your weapon. Every time. And that goes for anybody on the gun range. Make sure you use your CLP, cleaner, lubricant, and protector. So that keeps your firearm in good working order. That thing about Jesus walking on water. Okay, so Jesus walked on water. What the hell does that mean? Same thing for him with the feeding the fish and the bread. Okay, so he can make lunch. Great, wonderful. Turn water into wine. I guess that's cool. I guess if you want to be for wedding parties and stuff like that, he's great the guy to call. Raise Lazarus from the dead. Who said he was dead? Maybe he was just hungover. He was just hungover. He wasn't really dead. He just had a huge hangover. What are the miracles? And of course, like Mr. Troy Sartorian enlightened me, the Thomas, the infancy scriptures of Thomas, which people say are heretic, but I think they have some legitimacy. Jesus probably killed a lot of people in his day. He probably brought people back to life, but they weren't really dead to begin with. He says, I want me a 4'2", 400-pound, blue-eyed pink toe. You're not going to find that over there in Japan too much, are you? Lazarus was dead 4 days, sir. Learn your scriptures. Well, even if he was dead who knows he was dead what about the scriptures? Do they have scientific facts? What's the science behind that? Give me the scientific credibility. Then we can go on from there. And somebody hit that like button. You keep coming in and going out. It goes to 2 to 3 to 2 to 3. Now it's down to 2. If it goes back to 3, hit that like button. Blue eyes and blonde hair. Yeah, that's how it goes. That's just like the Fuhrer. Just like the Fuhrer. They're going back at it. Greg S. and Keith. They're going back at it. Pause. No Diddy. But cleaning is a must. It's just a. I mean, it's what you do. I mean, I can't. I used to go when I was in Pennsylvania. I went through these houses. It was under. They call it under the table, which is cute, but it was an under table job. It was like $150 or something like that. It was pretty good money. But I had to clean up this just completely ran down trailer park home. There were like dozens, I'm serious, not even playing, dozens of different bottles and different things like that scattered all about. It was completely just ridiculous. It was amazing. I mean, I cleaned out that place. We got it together. I got my money. Some guy that, he gave me the finger because he was a racist. He was like a Gigi Allen. No room for you, nigger. No room for you. No room for you, nigger. No room for you. Yes, the Fuhrer. Did you see Beanie Siegel in Pennsylvania? No, I did not. I did not see Beanie Siegel, Freeway, PD Crack, Oskino and Sparks, Young Guns, none of them niggas. I didn't see one of them. I was in, oh my God, what is it called? Shit. What is it? I was near Downingtown. I'm trying to think. Coatesville. I was in Coatesville, near Downingtown, and the other place I can't think of right now. But yeah. So I was getting money. I was getting money any way I could. I got money. I'm literally cleaning up shit. This is another part about cleaning. I was cleaning up shit. I cleaned up shit in Pennsylvania. It was treated, but you could still smell it. It was still of a scent. Whatever that chemical is in feces, I could still smell it. Cisco. Okay. As he should. Did you see Taylor? I didn't see Taylor Swift. Bottles, MD20. No, Pepsi. Bottles of, I should have been clear. Bottles of Pepsi. Pepsi bottles. It was crazy. It was too many Pepsi bottles. It was everywhere. Yeah, feces, definitely. Did you work on a dairy farm? What's happening to your words, Keith? Are you getting like Rick James? Are you getting too much sake? Sake? Are you having too much sake over there? You getting woozy off of it in the early morning? But no, I did not go work on a dairy farm. I did not. No. Oh, you're on a tablet. Okay. I understand. I can see where I can, mess up your writing. I see what you're saying. So what are you asking a question about? You just have a question mark. For whom? Are you asking me a question, Greg ass? What's up? Let me know. Anyway, okay, so I was shoveling shit in Pennsylvania, and I got money. I got like $100, $150, something like that. It was crazy. Then I worked for the OG Olive Garden, which is the worst job I've ever had in my life. It's like a nightmare whenever I think about it. So I had to like clean out my mind from that whole experience. It was like I dreaded I seriously dreaded coming into work every day. I seriously hated it. Like, I hated every single moment of going into that thing. So it wasn't, it could have been a beautiful experience. I mean, they had a setup where it was like on the internet where you can pick your hours you want to work, and pick your vacation time, and it would aid you on what to do, and it was pretty well together. It was pretty technologically advanced. It wasn't just going to the back and looking up on the paper if you're scheduled or not. It was totally different, and that's why I'm very fortunate. Why did I hate? Okay, let me see. Let me answer Keith. To be honest, Greg. Okay, he's talking to Greg. Why did you hate it? Because it was like the boss, the general manager, Marshall Lowe, who is dead now. He was just riding me. He was just like, why don't you? This is another part of cleaning. Why don't you clean these floors and stuff like that? Because I wasn't doing well as a waiter. So he said, clean up the floors and stuff like that. Make sure you get it. I was like, whatever. And one of his lines was, I didn't hire you just to fire you, but I had to get the hell out of there. I was going to Massachusetts. I let him know. He was in the freezer. I shook his hand. I said, look, thank you for the opportunity, but I got to get out of here. Can't do this anymore. So then, at that point, more cleaning, I became a trash man. I was cleaning up all the recyclables, which is trash. And I took them to a different site and had them processed. Like, I would take all the trash and put it on these bins, in these boxes, these cardboard boxes. I'll put them on this trailer, and the truck would pick them up like once every week or something like that. But before that, I had to do stinky moppos. Oh my God, it was awful. Those mops stank so bad. It was like vomit. That was what it smelled like. Excuse me. He didn't want to shake your colored hands, guys. Well, he was colored too. He was a brown man. He was a brown man. He was a brown man, definitely. Brown is an Arab. No, Brown is in Hispanic. He was a Hispanic man that I know of. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think he was Hispanic. He died like in 2016 or something like that. I was like, damn. I worked there in 2011, and I was like, let me see what Marshall Lowe is about. And I was like, wow, what? Found an obituary. I was tripped out. I was like, damn, he's dead. It's crazy. He definitely didn't want to shake your hand. That still gets me laughing. That's funny. But yeah, so that's more literal cleaning, base level, physical, actual cleaning. I went to the different sites, replaced the bags, and just kept it going from there. And then I did some other work with the next VA, the VA that I was at then, or the VA, or the Veterans Affairs, or Veterans Administration, whatever the hell you want to call it. I was like a diet aide. I was like a aide to the senior citizens in the Continued Living Community, CLC, and I set up, so I think I told the story before, but I set up, TV, the screen, to watch movies. We watched Lincoln and stuff like that. We played bingo. We had like an ice cream social. I think we had a few times. They went on trips one time or another. Then after that, I went to Northampton, and I was a dishwasher. Then I was at the desk. Then I That was my last placement because I went crazy again, and then they only held me for like 3 days or something like that. And then I was on my own. I was flat freaking on my own. I had a little bit of money, but not enough to get an apartment or something like that, or even get a motel. So then I go to what do you say? Hamptonville. Exton. Thank you. I just remember the other place that I went to. It was Exton Mall, Exton, stuff like that in Pennsylvania. So I was near. It was in Coatesville, Exton, and Downingtown. So just had to put that out there. That's how my brain works. It's really late, but at least it gets it. Home of Chris Breezy. What is the home of Chris Breezy? What are you talking about? Not in Virginia. Oh, you're saying in Virginia. Oh, no, not the I'm saying the Veterans Affairs, not Virginia. Yeah, I know Hampton, Virginia. I know that. I'm not talking about Virginia. I'm talking about the Veterans Affairs, the Veterans Administration. So I get out of there. I run back home. They could have played the song "He's Leaving" on that midnight train to Delaware. Because I was on a bus. I was on a Greyhound bus back to Delaware. And so I had a total different experience from what I had there. I went to the VA. I was a trash man. Well, first of all, I was in the kitchen. I was a dishwasher. And that didn't pan out well. Then I was, I don't know if it became first or second. Now it's kind of hazy. But I was another garbage man. I picked up the garbage around the place. And then I think I was on the desk, and I was with the recreation department. And that boss is dead. She died, I think, in 2017. I was just like, damn. Like they're all my bosses are dying. What's going on? And getting in trouble. My boss from Starbucks in 2011, she got caught with punching in the clock for another person. I was like, damn, that was some cool shit. She got dropped. That was over a decade ago. That was crazy. This is post-military. This is all post-military. This is definitely all post-military. Anything I talk about with the VA is post-military. But then I said, you know what? I'm good. And I didn't have to work another day in my life on that level. Because I got my 100% rating. And that was all she wrote. That saved my life. That allowed me to be free and able to do the things I wanted to do. I was able to do that. So, in conclusion, in closing, I just wanted to say, that I'm very fortunate to have 100%, to have the ability to say who I am, and know that I can get, as much usage out of the 100%, which is tax-free. The only tax I pay is a Medicare. It's the only tax I have is Medicare. Yes, Greg, yes, 100%. So the only tax I pay is Medicare. I don't have to worry about anything else. So, like I said, I'm very, very fortunate. But I'd like to thank all the people that came through. Thank you, Rick James, Greg S., Keith, especially. If I miss anybody, I don't think I did, but all three of you, I appreciate you, and I will see you sometime tomorrow. Take care.